Well, hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Today is Friday, May 5th, 2017. My name is Pete Connor. I'm your show's host. And as per usual, we do have, I think, a very informative day for you today. We are going to be soon with Don Hettinga, who is a social science or social studies instructor at the Alternative Learning Center. And along with a couple of students, Dakota and Michelle, we're going to talk about, among other things, the downtown cleanup that's coming. And then we will have Haji Abdicader and his reflections on coming to America. Haji, a member of the Somali community here in Owatonna. On Fridays, we always take some time to highlight our sponsors, and no different today. Our premier sponsors, City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, and the Owatonna Public Utilities. Our primary sponsors, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Anytime Fitness, Fairway Foods, Little Theater of Owatonna, and the Owatonna Foundation. And our interlude sponsors making up Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Cedar Valley Services, Glenn Mager and Michael Mager of the Brick Mager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Area Business Development Center, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Video Productions, Tri-M Graphics, and TPS Insurance. And we sure hope you support these sponsors. They're very valuable because they are what makes Owatonna Today available to you. So if you have a chance to say thanks, please do so. And if you have knowledge of someone that you think would be a good sponsor, let us know by giving us a ring at 390-5751. And talk with Leanne, our show's producer. And now we're going to take just a bit for some commercial messages, and then we'll be right back with you with our first guest. Please stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Well, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and welcome to our guests from the Alternative Learning Center, Don Hettinga, social studies instructor, Michelle, and Dakota. Hi, welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Among other things, we're going to talk about the downtown cleanup, which is kind of an annual event for the ALC. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about the ALC. We know that it's been, part of our educational system for quite a long time. You've been around for what? Did you tell me? 11, 12 years?
14 years.
Okay. In terms of philosophy for having an ALC, what is the driving force, would you say?
The driving force, I think, more than anything else, is just it's a place for students who have trouble fitting in the traditional classroom. Up at OHS, sometimes classes get up to 35 kids, and for a lot of our kids, that's just a lot of noise that gets in the way of their learning. And sometimes a smaller environment helps them keep on track, getting from class to class quicker, and working in a smaller environment. That's really the driving force. And we do a lot of work with credit recovery for kids who might have fallen behind on the path for whatever reason.
Sure, okay. Michelle, you've been now how long with at the ALC?
I have been there, I think, 2 years.
2 years, okay. And basically what Mr. Hettinga said pretty much fits your profile?
Yep.
It was time to make a change, you had an opportunity?
Yeah, I fell behind in credits.
By comparison to what you were exposed to at OHS and now, how do you see your educational life going?
It's going better.
Is it?
It's really, really good.
Okay. And you see some things are now, what year are you in school?
Senior.
Senior, okay, so you're graduating.
Yep.
What plans for the next year, if any?
starting college this fall.
Well, good for you. Where are you going to go?
Austin Riverland.
Good for you. And what do you know what you're going to be taking up yet?
Nursing.
Good for you. See how nice that is? You are boom, 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 boom. You got this just laid out nicely, don't you? Good for you. Yeah, Dakota, how about yourself? How long have you been at the ALC?
I've been there 2 years.
Also 2 years, okay. Graduation in your future here this spring? Okay. And what about future plans for you?
Going to college in Austin, going for truck driving and diesel mechanics.
Good for you. Wonderful. Compare the OHS experience to this experience. What is the best part of what you're involved in Dakota right now at ALC?
They're just smaller classes, so I get more one-on-one with teachers.
Okay.
So I can get better understanding of the work that we're doing in the class.
All right. And by way of success, are you measured basically the same way as anyone else who's in school? You know, you still have to make the grades and get a GPA of some sort to get into the graduation mode.
Actually, at at the ALC, one thing that's different than the high school is that our kids have to get a C to pass the class.
Okay.
70% or better. We kind of have raised that standard up a little bit because we just want our kids to be college and career ready.
Sure.
So that's something that our director, Melody Hoffner, put in a couple of years ago.
Very well. And that's an expectation. Then you kids know that's what you got to do when you come in. Okay. As a part and parcel of your experience there, we have this annual thing called the Downtown Cleanup.
Yep.
And I don't know how that all started. I know that it's been around for a long time. Anybody know how that all was started? It's in conjunction with the city.
Since I was there from the beginning, I can shed a little light on that. It was something when we used to be over on Rose Street. We were looking for a community service project. John Dickerman, who was the teacher of our community service class, challenged the kids to come up with a project that could show our involvement in the community. And they came up with wanting to show that we were good neighbors as far as keeping it clean and things like that, and that's kind of where it sprang from. So 2003 was the first one, and it's gone on since there.
So when we talk about downtown, I mean, there's we can say there's a big downtown, maybe a little downtown. What's the scope of your work as far as cleaning? How far, from what avenue, street to how far around do you go with the?
We've gone. Usually we go down to the right past the courthouse, and I'm trying to remember what street that is, and down to what's one past Rose Street? Without my map.
Probably is it?
I think it's Pearl.
Pearl.
No.
Okay, this way.
I'm going the
Fremont,
other. Fremont, which is the one I'm looking for.
Yeah,
So we
Fremont
go about
and Mill, I
Fremont
think,
Street.
is the one behind the courthouse.
And then we go from Elm Street all the way over to the river.
Wow.
So sometimes it's pretty easy. In the first couple of years, there was some major cleaning that had to be done, but it's gotten a little easier every year because we don't have a lot of the residual stuff from the year before to pick up.
No, you kids this is handwork, right? I mean, this is shovel and broom stuff.
Yep, and
right?
rakes.
And rakes. And so you're, this is, how long does it take it's Saturday, I guess, and so how long are you going to be in?
It's a Friday.
Oh, it's a Friday, sorry.
Yep.
How long will you be, the whole day doing the work? Or
Most likely,
most of the day? Yeah.
And then we'll have a cookout in the Central Park.
Oh, nice.
And then we can leave after that.
Okay, how about it? And then, of course, the city provides some of the infrastructure. I mean, maybe the tools are you getting from the city? And I know the fire trucks have come to wash out alleys, let's say, or other parts of the infrastructure as well. And I imagine that'll happen again.
Yep, we work with the street department, and we are given walkie-talkies. So when we get an area clean and it needs to be get a street sweeper in there, we just call them and say, the alley behind so-and-so or the corner of so-and-so needs a sweeper.
Yeah.
But it's a cool connection because the kids get to, see what the city department does. The businesses have been really appreciative, and we usually see some signs out thanking the kids for it, and that's good.
Right.
That's, they need to see that community service like this is it's giving to others, and they appreciate it.
Right. It's all groundwork, kids, right? You're not. Do you do windows? I mean, it's kind of that
No, none of that.
We're not doing windows. It's all groundwork on the surface. You don't have to climb, to do anything along that line. It's just pretty much manual labor, sweep and shovel, and there must be bins then that are provided that you put things in.
We put them in bags, and we
bags.
tell the city to come and pick them up for us.
Excellent. What other things are you guys involved in besides this as an event in the springtime of the year? Other so-called community service activities, whether they are organized as a part of the school or just for yourselves?
They're involved in MapStars.
And what is that?
It's a conference where you go and compete against different schools around Minnesota on different events like job manuals, interviews.
So you obviously interviews are going to be important once you finish whatever part of school you're going to be, whether it's for your nursing degree or for your truck driving and auto mechanics. You need to interview, so that's a good part. What other things? Anything else, Dakota, that comes to mind that you're involved in that's outside of the school day? Nothing else?
Pennies for Patients.
Okay. Tell us about that.
We just raise money for, like, this time we did it for leukemia, and what was the other one? I can't remember, and we just had fun with it with each class. We each had a jar in our classrooms, and we just raise pennies, and then whoever gets nickel or silvers or dollars in it deducts from what they have in their jar, and whoever wins at the end gets a party.
All right.
For whatever class wins.
So the pennies are coming from you guys?
Yeah.
And your fellow students? Yeah. And what kind of money do you raise for the organization?
This year we raised $211.
Cool. Very cool.
In 1 week. Well, just about 1 week.
In 1 week.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
It broke down to about $3.50 per student,
Right.
which would be a great total if we had a bigger population. But it's a good contribution.
It sounds like
it's
it's
really pitched in.
a program that could be replicated in other places.
Yep.
And I have to ask then, when we talk about the student body, how many students in LLC?
75 is about our max now.
Okay.
We're comfortable around 65 to 70,
All right.
which is about where we're at right now.
Okay.
It fluctuates. We have a lot of, a somewhat transient population at times,
Okay.
so it goes up and it goes down.
And how about staff? How many staff?
7 full-time staff.
All right.
And we also have a gym teacher who comes in every once in a while and a reading specialist.
And everything happens right at the LC?
Yep.
Don't go anywhere else, back to OHS for anything?
No.
Stay right there. Okay, good. Well, this has been interesting, and it's going to be fun to see you all pushing your brooms and rakes and all the rest of it on that day. A day again is on Friday,
May 19th.
May 19th. Okay, so we'll ask people to be looking out for our kids, and hopefully you'll be in high-vis clothing, at least a vest of some sort. That'd be a good deal. Yeah, good. And thank you for being with us to bring us all around to this.
Thank you, Pete.
Appreciate it a whole lot.
Appreciate it.
So best wishes.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us today. We're going to now take a few minutes for some sponsor messages, and then we will be right back. So please do remain with us.
Hi, Eric here from Owatonna Senior Place. Participate in one of the many active fitness classes we have, or hop on the bus for one of our great day trips. We have a variety of programs and activities happening throughout the week. Our goal at Senior Place is to create positive moments for you at a reasonable and affordable price. Don't forget the Senior Place Partnership Program, with over 40 businesses giving discounts and incentives to you for being a Senior Place member. Contact us for more details. Live full, live well, live long.
Hello, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Michael Mager with the Brick Mager Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home. At Brick Mager, we are privileged to have served the families of Steele County community for 118 years.
Whether you choose traditional burial or cremation, we promise the tribute your loved one deserves with the peace of mind that you require.
We are proud to be part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Greetings from the Steele County Historical Society. We invite you to visit us and enjoy your county's history at the History Center and Village of Yesteryear. Check our website for current exhibits and monthly programs.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Well, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and we want to welcome Haji Abdicader from the Somali community, Somali American community. Haji, welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
We want to, bring our listener, our viewers up to speed in terms of what it's like to come to America. Most of us, of course, don't have that opportunity to talk about what it's like to come to America because most of us, have been here. You have a perspective that is going to be very different than most people who are here. But you have an interesting story. When was your entrance into the city of Owatonna?
I came in Owatonna late 1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And before that?
I lived in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's better that you came to Owatonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and before Cedar Rapids, then you would have been?
Lived in Kenya for 7 years.
Right.
Yeah.
As a refugee?
3 years in a refugee camp and 4 years in town.
In town.
Yeah.
Okay. And your home in Somalia was where?
Mogadishu.
Oh, it is in Mogadishu.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this may be a kind of a nonsensical question, but why did you leave Mogadishu? What was happening at the time?
Oh, in 1990, there's a civil war that started, and me and my family, my dad, we left to a small town called up in north called Afgoye that we stayed in 30 days, and then after 30 days we went back to Mogadishu. There was a regime change, and all of a sudden the things just went worse. So we had to go back to that town, and since then I left. My dad and my brothers came to Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have yet family members in Somalia?
I have only my uncle and my aunt,
all right.
And their kids.
But your nuclear family.
Yeah, my dad and my mom also came to Kenya, and that's where they passed away. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
yeah.
And your siblings, then you had how many, or have how many?
2.
2.
Yeah.
And they're all.
They're in my 2 brothers, one in England and one in Ireland. And my sister, she's in Ireland, and one died in the war.
Oh,
yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So ultimately, from Kenya to Cedar Rapids to Owatonna in 1998. 98.
Yeah.
And why Owatonna? What happened that you came here?
I had friends that came before me here that I knew, and the Somalis, they talk and inform each other of what city they are and what the opportunity on those cities, and there was work in Owatonna at that time. Most of the people was working at the flyer can and palm printing up in Wasika. And in Cedar Rapids, I had kind of part-time job, so I decided to move in Owatonna.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a nice decision that I made to come to Owatonna.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, what you say about your reasons are probably the same reasons that anyone who came from whenever it was a long time ago, or just recently, for opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity. We've been over 24 years with no country, no future. People get the opportunity to come to U.S. and also to be part of the American society and chasing the same American dream as whoever came before us. Yeah, and that possible and you can be wherever you want it when you're here. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's an idea that's been around for just so long of a period of time. Whatever you think you want to do, there's an opportunity to do that.
That's correct.
Have you gained citizenship then?
Yes. Yes.
When did you become a U.S. citizen?
I think I became a citizen back in 2000. I believe 2002 or so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, and your family is with you. Your wife is with you. You have children here with you. How many of them were born here? In the United States, I probably should say.
6.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're already citizens.
Yes.
And, so, what did you do when you came? By way of opportunity.
Yes, when I came to Owatonna, I started working the company that I used to call, I think was Cybex, now called Bosch.
Yeah.
I started working there full time and then moved on to Brown Printing, worked there for 5 years. Then I had the opportunity to buy a Somali store existed in Bridge Street. So that's when I started having a business, although I had a background business back home. So
what did you do there?
Back home, we had a wholesale store in Somalia that I used to help my dad. Yeah.
So you have a background in that. And
yes.
And it was, I guess, we know the stores are like that. The shops are halal markets.
Yes, that's.
You offer foods that are proper. I mean, because I know that in Somali you will not eat pork, but you will, and there are other things that need to be.
Yeah.
Properly cared for and produced and all the rest of that.
That's correct.
And then after that, what happened?
Then I closed the store, and then I joined home care agency that I had partner. And then we tried Royal Transportation. We started that company, and now we move on to a trucking business company. Yeah.
It was interesting. We talked a little bit before the show about the trucking business. How many trucks do you have on the road now?
We are, we are a company that owns 5 partners. We have a total of 13 company-owned trucks and 12, I think almost 12 owner-operators.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty much everybody's Somali in the business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the scope of your business of where the trucks go, how far and wide?
We go, northeast, east, all pretty much the 48 states.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you find your loads wherever you find them, and
yes,
or do you haul?
We haul for a company called Tyler Track Line up in Northfield.
Northfield, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They give us the loads. We have a contract with them, and great company. Yeah.
Yeah. And how does it go for you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Is it good?
Pretty good. Yeah.
And other things that are you're involved with transportation locally as well.
Yes, we have a transportation that takes people to medical appointment, or the doctor appointment, dentist appointment. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Been around since 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah. What sort of plans do you have, if any, for the future? I mean, when you think of opportunities, you've come on to these opportunities. What other things are in your future, do you think, things that you might like to do that you think might be important to do?
Maybe run a public office.
You think?
Yeah, that's what always had
like
in mind. City council.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, well, sure. Listen, and as you well know, it's important to be involved.
Yeah.
I mean, your Somali community, you have your own organization within that, but it's also important to be part of the larger community, and I think that would be a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. This is maybe not a silly question. I hope it isn't a silly question, but what plans to go back to Somalia?
Someday I will go back. I still have a family there, and properties that my dad left, and just maybe waiting in the right time.
Yeah. Okay. If things stabilize.
Stabilize. Yeah.
Right.
It's getting better.
Have you been back to visit?
I went back to Kenya, but not Somalia. No.
Somalia,
yeah.
Still risky, maybe.
Yeah. Some people call it that. Some people go.
Yeah.
It depends how feeling is.
Well,
yeah.
It's Well, I'm glad you're here. You're productive. You're doing good things for not only yourself and your family, but for the Somali American community as well, and for Owatonna as well. So it's great. It's great to hear your story. I wish you had more time.
Yeah,
but
thank
we're
you.
going to stop for now and say thank you for being here, and I'm sure we'll catch up another time. I also want to say thanks to you for being here. We're going to take a bit of time for some messages, and then we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Well, thanks for coming back to Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. It's time now for some community announcements. Little Theater of Owatonna announces its 2017-2018 play schedule. The fall play, Shrek, the musical, which will be directed by Sandy Hardy Hagen. The holiday play, Memories, Moments, and Music, directed by Kathy Purdy and Gayleen Steckelberg. And the winter play, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, directed by Jeffrey Jackson. The spring play, My Man Godfrey, a comedy directed by John Terrell. The summer play, Seussical, a musical directed by Bree Velsky. All wonderful productions, I'm sure. We also want to say Be Our Guest, serving the community in meals in God's name. Free meals are available each week in Owatonna at the following locations. On Tuesdays, St. Vincent's Table at St. Joseph's Catholic Church, 512 South Elm Street, serving from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Wednesdays, Bethel Community Supper, Bethel Baptist Church, 1611 Hemlock Avenue, serving from 5 until 6 p.m. And on Sunday, Meals of Hope at Trinity Lutheran Church, 609 Lincoln Avenue, serving from 5 until 6:15 p.m. The Nancy Schroep Memorial Scholarship application is now is available at the Owatonna High School Career Center, or can be obtained by contacting Gene Westberg at 507-451-2407. $500 each will be presented to a senior fast-pitch softball player and to a senior band member. Submit your applications to the Owatonna Senior High School Career Center by Friday, May 12th. On Saturday, May 20th, Recycling Collection Day, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Retrofit Companies, which is on Hoffman Drive, the old Walmart building. I suspect most people will know that. Many things that can be dropped off there, for fluorescent lamps, incandescent lamps, ballasts, mercury devices, batteries, appliances, computers, etc., etc. There'll be a little charge for dropping off some of those things, but it's a good way to get rid of those things without having to put them into the landfill. That'll be again on Saturday, May 20th. And finally, the 2017 For the Paws Golf Tournament, hosted by Reggie's Brewhouse, benefiting Steele County Humane Society, Saturday, May 20th at Brooktree. Shotgun start at 12 noon, $200 per team, including a golf cart, and then a silent auction and beer bash at Reggie's Brewhouse after the tournament ends. And that'll take care of our community announcements. We do want you to come back on Monday when we will have the Bremer Bank update, as well as Ellen Hayden from Steel Waseca Habitat for Humanity, an on-location visit there. So I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.